I was sitting here and thinking, no, here there are so many workers from the informal sector today. Women workers are there today. They have all, no, lost their work today. They have lost their wages today. So they have to come and be in the struggle path for days and days. There will not be food for them and their family. No, even if they get 100 or 200 or 300 rupees maximum, no, working full day, more than 10 hours to 12 hours to 15 hours, no, they have to work to raise that 100 or 200 or 300 rupees. Those people know we represent the majority of the workforce in the country, the informal workforce in the country. And it's sad to say again, the informal numbers of the informal workers in the country is increasing. And where do we put people who are unemployed? We are saying no, all my fellow leaders have already spoken about the unemployment situation, the rising, alarming unemployment situation in the country. And another thing that I have to say is that the lowering down of the decreasing women workforce in the country. Why is it happening so? Is it that the women in the country, they don't want to work? No. The measuring system in the country is such that they don't want to include the people who are seeking jobs, the people who are left out of the workforce. Because no jobs are available in this country, they don't want to include them in the workforce. That is why majority of the poor, majority of the marginalized have been kept out of the number of the workforce in the country, the official statistics of the country. And we know that the government has not taken any steps towards the next census of the country. The only data that we can rely upon is the labor force survey that is happening. So, how do we actually think about the workforce in this country? How do we actually measure the workforce in this country? It is beyond our imagination. People in the villages, people in the cities, they are working maybe 5 hours, maybe 10 hours, maybe 15 hours, but we don't know. They are not in the roadways of any companies. They are not in the roadways of any industries. They are not in the roadways of the government even. And we say that informality is increasing. More and more people are going into the informal sector. More and more people from the marginalized sections are going into the informal sector. So how do we account for this? That is the situation of the country. We don't have any system to talk about the informal sector in this country. They are, as we have seen very clear in our declaration where we are fighting, they are the most marginalized workers, they are the domestic workers, they are the street vendors, they are the construction workers, they are home-based workers, they are migrant workers, they are platform workers. The numbers, the list, we cannot finish the list, for 1 hour, the next 1 hour, the list is like that. And they are not directly working with their employers. Employers are absconding in this country. They are not seeing employees in this country. They are not responsible for anything happening for the workforce in the country. The industrialists are not talking about the workforce in this country, but they want the poor people's cheap labor. That is what is happening. They can make us work for 15 hours and pay us 200 rupees a day. That is the scenario. And we have seen that the minimum wages, instead of increasing in this country, we have been put down to flog minimum wages as part of the labor force in this country. Many of our colleagues have spoken about, our comrades have spoken about the change in labor laws that has happened in the country or that is going to happen in this country. What is going to happen? It is trying to decrease the wages of people in the country. It is trying to push away majority of the people of the country from even existing social security schemes in the country. When we think that the present social security code that has been passed in the parliament, if it comes into being, majority of the social security boards and schemes that are existing in different states will disappear. The states will not be able to control the existing social security schemes that they have been established for many years for the informal sector in the country, especially the southern states of India. And what is going to happen? They are going to replace under unified boards, unified systems, and all the workers will be categorized as poor workers in the country, poor informal workers. And when we talk about universal social security system, when we talk about universal public distribution system, when we talk about universal free education for our children, and when we talk about universal free health for our poor people in this country, the government is just keeping away from all these things that have to be implemented strongly. How? Where is the money? That is the question. I think when we look at our declaration, it has been very strongly put, where is the source of money? The rich in the country, in this country, the number of billionaires who have been increasing in the countries, really they have the resource to share for the social security of the people in the poor people in this country. They have resources, they have wealth in them. Why can't the government take tax from them in order to support the poor as social security measures in the country? We don't want anybody's freebies, but we want rights as workers. That is what we are thinking about. The poor in the country, the women workers in the country, the care workers in the country. We have been talking about Anganwadi workers and national workers for a long time now. Many of the states who have been trying to formalize those workers, they are also now asking the question, where is the money coming from? We have answers to this question. We know where the wealth in this country is lying. Without our productivity, without our efficiency, without our skills, none of the employers, none of the bureaucrats, none of the people in the power are able to survive in the country. So, I think this is time for us to bargain with our efficiency. Time for the workers in this country to bargain with our production. They cannot come, and face us through digital economy. They cannot say that we are formalizing the workers when their workers are paying through Google Pay. All of us are very familiar with Google Pay. We are very familiar with Phone Pay. That is what had happened. Even if we have 100 rupees in our bank, we pay 20 rupees for the juice that we have drank or the meal that we have taken from a street vendor in this country through Google Pay or Phone Pay and say that, oh, these many workers are formal workers. This is absolutely a mistake. This is absolutely misguiding workers in the countries and saying that they are formalizing the workers in the country. No, the situations, the working situations are further deteriorating in terms of establishment turning away against the workers. Number of people who have been part of the establishment, the threshold has been increased, many times due to the labor laws reforms in the country, and the people who are not part of establishments like the domestic workers or the street vendors or the fish workers or the forest workers, or the people who are working with government as their resources, public space as their resources. They are the women, they are the Adivasis, they are the Dalits in this country. They have been completely kept away from the definition of establishment. They are not wage workers even, they are not established workers even. They are not coming under any of the definitions that government is trying to put in terms of informality, forms of informal economy in the country. Friends, we are in this juncture. We are struggling in this juncture to take away, when the government is trying to take away the rights of the people. Day after tomorrow, we are hearing another budget, the last budget from this government, when they are trying to, almost the last budget from this government, when they are going to face the next election. But the workers' organizations in the country is not consulted. They just want 1 hour to meet the workers' organizations in the country, and we have boycotted the discussion with the government. They want their own people to come and discuss and take suggestions and decisions regarding the workers. So let us wait and see what is going to happen to the workers. Whether the government will be able to support the workers, whether more days will be added to MNREGA work, whether more money will be added to social security of the informal sector workers in the work, whether more money will be added to the health benefits of the work. The country have been so astonished by or so shocked by the number of migrant workers who have been going out of their small settlements into the roads of the country post-COVID. We all have seen these many migrant workers in the country. Poor women, pregnant women, poor children, poor men, with all their things that they had in big bundles, they have turned out to the road to go back to their own cities. And the government said, we will take care of migrant workers. They don't know even how many people have died, how many migrant workers are there in the country. There is no such data existing. And we talk about, many construction workers are migrant workers, many people who are in the pavements are migrant workers. Huge number of domestic workers are migrant workers in the country who go from one state to another country, but no data is existing for any such workers in the country. And they are saying that we have put a survey. The government has put a survey for domestic workers. The government has put a survey for migrant workers. But what is the result of all those surveys? Nobody knows what is going to happen. And we have seen the gimmick of wisdom that have been happening. Around 30 crores workers have registered, that is what the official records say in the ISRO, which is supposed to recognize the informal economy workers and organized workers in the country. But what is the result? What is going to happen after ISRO? Who is going to be benefited after that? What are the schemes that we are going to bring out for the workers? Are you trying to unify the sectors? No, we want our sectoral rights. We want sectoral rights for domestic workers, we want sectoral rights for fish workers, for forest workers, for home-based workers, and we see home-based workers that we have seen, no, the number of home-based workers, no, because the so-called industry has been diminishing with the new threshold that is coming up. More workers have been scattered to the villages where most of the production in the country is happening in the homes of the country. And women are the majority of the workers. And they are the people which Modi always say, come let us see, let us, we are waiting and come and use our cheap labor. Modi is telling the foreign investors and he's attracting the country, seeing the women laborers, their cheap labor, even if they work for 15 hours, they are not even paid 100 rupees and they have been paid in piece rate and nobody knows. There will be contractors, there will be subcontractors, there will be big chain in the supply chains, but there is no track of anything that is happening in the country. So we are proud of the home-based workers. Yes, we are proud of the home-based workers. Yes, we are proud of the skills of the workers in this country. Yes, we are proud of the women workers in the country. Yes, we are proud of the forest workers in the country. Yes, we are proud of the workers who have been sustaining the public resources, the public commons, the public rights of the workers, the poor, the marginalized in the country. We are proud of the migrant workers who have been sustaining the economy of the country and the states. But when results come, when policies come, when legal procedures happen, what is going to happen? They are completely out of their workforce. They are going to be completely invisible. And dear friends, this is time for us to come together. We spoke about unemployment, we spoke about the youth, we spoke about how people have been kept out, who are graduates, who are postgraduates, who are engineers or who are into other professional sectors. Many of our sons and daughters, they have been waiting for their jobs. So it is time for us to bring them also to the struggle path that we are putting forward, because they are the job seekers in the country and they are also the informal economy workforce in the country. So dear friends, dear comrades, dear sisters, dear brothers, we are now here to think how for the next 1 year, how do we strengthen our unity? How are we going to bring the unity amongst not only the workforce, the women in the country, the youth in the country, the people who are unemployed in the country, the Dalits in the country, the Adivasis in the country, when our constitutional rights are violated, when right as a citizen is violated, when our right to live without fear in this country is violated in the name of fundamentalism and fascism. How are we going to address this and how are we going to ask for the rights of the workers in the country? That is the struggle that we are launching today, towards next year the election. So let's bring in our villages, in our small workplaces, in any areas that we work, let's bring together the women, the youth, the marginalized, the basic communities in the country to struggle towards systematic resistance, systematic campaigns, systematic marches in our own areas till the next election, so that let us prove that the workers in the country are able to change the power democracy of the country. And let's have a